Without a shadow of a doubt. Without a
source.
shadow of a doubt. So now I'm sitting in this place and I'm like, God, if you show me, I don't even know where it come from. But my prayer was this: God, if you show me my purpose, you can have my life, right? I'm opening up the Bible. I can't even read the Bible. Don't understand the Bible. Don't believe it. But I say this, I'll make a deal with you. If you show me what I'm alive for, you can have my life.
Welcome back, my Duns&Roses. Hope you've all been good out there, had a good week. I'm gonna enjoy your weekend. Today we're gonna be doing a reaction video to a pastor talking about what is it to be a godly man, but in reality, what is it to be a man in general, and what the kids, these young boys, should be seeing and resembling. So yeah, we're gonna get into this video. Please give a like and subscribe to anybody that is new to the channel. And yeah, man, share this out to anyone that needs to hear this. Any little young boys, any men out there that are looking for spiritual guidance, share this video to them. We're gonna get into more of these conversations. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. And before we start, the audio is gonna be a bit muffled up for about a minute, and then it'll clear up. So yeah, just let you all know, give you a heads up.
Said Pastor James, there's a problem as I'm reading this that there just are not enough men in church. There are not enough men that are really being spiritual leaders, like really influencing their family to follow Christ.
Yeah.
What is the man's role biblically? And what do women do when it seems like a man is not showing up as spiritually strong?
Without a shadow of a doubt. So when a child starts getting 17, 18, 19 months, 2 years old or whatever, and you start gearing them and rearing them towards God, as a child's inquisitiveness is being developed, they don't understand that I can't see God physically. So therefore, they look up to their father naturally. And so therefore, if this is God, in their minds, if it's God, if it's a God on the earth, my God is through my father, because my father is my source.
Right.
Are you with me? And so therefore, at that point,
Amen.
when the father is the source and the father is God in the child's eyes, if the father is not demonstrating that I serve the true and living God in order, not just talking, but in demonstration, in prayer, in scripture reading, in coming to church, in serving, in doing all the things that he's called to do, which since he's the source, that makes him the leader of his household,
right,
that makes him the leader of his children. So therefore, the children is going to follow the source, which is the man, not based off what he say, but based off how he lives. So therefore, if the father cannot demonstrate that he's obedient to God, he's obedient to someone that's teaching him, then that child is just going to walk right behind in the same footsteps of the father. If the father is disobedient, the child will be disobedient.
So that little bit there just reminded me of these little racist kids. It's like whenever I see them, I'm like, yeah, you learned that behavior from your dad and so forth, innit? But it all trickles down from the father. That's why when a woman is racist, believe her husband's got to be a bit racist, because if you allow that from your woman to talk in a certain way, you clearly have your own thoughts as well. That's why she can feel comfortable to talk like that. But yeah, that was just that part there. But let's get back into these convos.
Father is rebellious, the child will be rebellious. If the father is entitled, the child will be entitled. The child is seeing who God is through the demonstration of the father.
Because you know what, Pastor James? We all have a source.
For sure.
Which one is your source?
For sure.
So
For
if I
sure.
see my father's source is culture, more than likely that's going to be
without
my
a shadow
source.
of a doubt.
If my father's source is getting drunk, more than likely liquor and drugs and alcohol, that's going to be my
without
source.
A shadow of a doubt.
So the way that I'm really, and I'm not, and this is, I know that there's always an exception. This is not 100%, but for the majority, this is how we keep a generational curse in operation. Somewhere along the line, the people that we were looking up to, they had a different source other than the Holy Spirit.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Now think about this now. I just gave y'all that illustration of how the child looks to the father, and whoever the father demonstrates, that's who the child see who God is through the father. Right. Now the question is this: what takes place when the child don't have a father to look at? Now the child begins to look at the mother.
That part.
Right.
Right? And when the child looks at the mother, now there is a source of confusion that's starting to start stirring inside of the child. Because in the DNA of the child, how the child come out, how God has wired them, every child looks to their father as source. Because that's why when we pray, we say Abba.
Yeah.
Abba, Father. The word father literally means source.
Yeah.
So when we get regenerated and born again, we change who our source is from the natural to the spiritual.
Right.
Am I making any sense? What takes place when a child,
Amen.
5 or 6 years old, don't have a father to look to? Now they got to look to mom. And when they look to mom, now they're in a place of confusion, not even realizing that they're in a place of confusion. Because when they go around other men and when they go around other people and they begin to see, well, for me in particular, when I used to see that my cousins and my brother had a dad, but I didn't, I thought something was wrong with me. Right? So therefore, since you don't know who's the source, so at that point, life begins to come and you want to be comfortable, you want to have identity, you want to be convenient. And so you say, I need whoever my source to be. And it could be right, it could be wrong, however it turns out. In other words, I begin to be groomed by something.
Yeah, everybody will be groomed by something.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Absolutely.
I'm being groomed by culture.
Absolutely.
I'm being groomed by myself. I'm being groomed by Satan. I'm being groomed by whatever I think is right in my own eyes. And it's dangerous when that's really not the true and living God.
So when we go back to the question, the man's role biblically.
Oh, he's the leader.
Okay.
He's the leader of his household. First of all, and before I can lead my household, I got to be able to lead myself effectively. So first of all, I'm the leader of myself, then I'm a leader of my household, right? And so if I'm the leader, in order for me to be a leader, I got to have a vision.
Right.
I cannot be a leader if I don't have a vision. Why is that? Where am I leading somebody to? If I can't see, where am I leading them to?
Yeah.
So I can call myself a leader, but what exemplifies that I'm a leader is that I see something.
Yes.
And I'm leading some people to something.
Yes.
So
You have
therefore,
a
what I'm
vision.
trying to tell you is this: never select a person that you know without a shadow of a doubt don't have nothing they are going towards.
Right.
They don't see anything. Why say I do to a person that they don't see anything? Because they're gonna lead you into the ditch.
Yeah.
They don't see anything. They're gonna lead you into a place that's being aimless. Are
Right.
you with me? But when you are aimless, you can't hit nothing. You can't hit nothing if you don't see nothing.
Right.
Are you with me? So therefore, what makes the man a leader is that he sees a vision, and watch this, he surrendered to God too.
Yeah.
He's not a leader because he surrendered to himself.
Yeah.
He's not a leader because he surrendered to culture. Right? I'm talking to the church, talking to people in the church, all right? Because I don't know how anybody, universalists and all these other people, I don't know how they do life, but I'm talking about how we do it. Are you with me? A man has to, in order to be a leader, to be respected as a leader, he has to be surrendered to God and he has to see something in front of him.
Yes, sir.
If he does not see nothing in front of him, then what's going to happen is he's going to get with a lady, he's going to get with a woman that if she sees something, she's going to reverse the roles and say, no, you follow me because you don't see something I do.
Yeah.
That's what a problem. That's what a friction start coming in at, right? So
Troy,
if a man don't have nothing to see, this means he don't have nothing to build.
Yeah.
And every man needs something to pursue. Every man needs something to conquer, and every man needs a mission to build. Type that in the comments and share that. Every man needs something to pursue. He needs something to conquer, and he needs the mission to build. If he don't have something he's pursuing, if he don't have something he's conquering, if he don't have a mission to fulfill and build, may I submit to you, he's confused on the inside and he don't know where he's going. He don't know who he is.
So Pastor James.
But there is a level of that where it needs to be a balance, because it's either you go a bit too much and then you get a bit too overpowered with that mindset. So you need to find a balance with that.
How do you help a man that hears that maybe just really feels lost? What is the first step for him to say, okay, I don't have a vision?
Yeah, that's the first step. He need to admit that.
Okay.
The first step is let me go back to who I was at 27 years old when I got into this, right? I don't want to talk from the place of thriving. Right. I want to go back to the surviving spot so I can be on the same level as everybody else. Watch this. The hardest thing that it had for me, babe, the hardest thing for me to come to a place, the hardest thing was for me was to come to a place of complete honesty.
Okay.
And the honesty was this: I'm ignorant.
Ignorant means
I'm in an identity
Ignorant can definitely be
crisis.
But let's
offensive.
go back because the word ignorant can be offensive to
I
people.
just don't know.
That's all ignorance means is I don't know.
I don't know how to be a man. I don't know how to follow God. I don't know how to live life godly and healthy.
And for people that don't know you, you did not have a father growing up. A very, very estranged relationship with your mother growing up. Not having a lot of role models other than.
Sorry, that just highlighted something and just remind me of a podcast that I watched with some guy called Cooley. If I can remember to put it up, I'm going to put it up right now. And it's going to show you exactly what this woman was talking about. And it's basically, I'm just going to put it up. I'm going to find it and we'll put it up. So yeah, watch this.
One mic at a time, real quick.
They don't like my sons right now. I got stand-up young men right now,
Hold on.
and they only 12 and 11.
Then you
right
have,
now.
you have boys.
Stand up, but they stand up right
stand-up
now.
boys,
I
not
got young
men.
niggas with ski masks on doing all types of crazy stuff. Mines don't do that.
That's fine.
Mines don't do
You
that.
have stand-up
I got
boys,
real
not
guys,
men, though.
But it's okay. I got real guys. I got young boys that you see it from as a child. It start from a child. Mines ain't starting from no child.
I got you. No
so
one's knocking you for.
Yeah, I don't have that. So.
Real quick. Let me just let's and save your train of thought. I'm sorry. No one's knocking you for you being a single mother and taking care of your son. Statistically speaking, single mother households leads to degeneracy. Single mother households leads to juvenile delinquents. It leads to more men in prison. It leads to more women on stripper poles. It leads to all the degenerate behavior you see. It leads to gang violence and everything. Well, why are there gangs around? Because there's no fathers around. There were only mothers around. Fathers are the disciplinarians. Guess what? You know why? Because children just happen to listen to the father more than they listen to the mother. That's why. The only way a boy can become a man is through a father. The other way is discovering it on his own. Wake you up and give you the reality that you ain't. So the only thing you can hope for is maybe some nigga that you can bag as a stepfather to raise that for you. And if not, you better hope that God is with your son to raise that to a man. If not, he ain't being no man. He gonna be like all of these other whips that y'all chicks complain about. Sassy boys. Oh, these is feminine. Oh, they're leading me on. They're selling me a dream. They're not being masculine and telling me the truth. He's gonna be like one of those niggas. The niggas that y'all chicks complain about. What are you talking about? You raising a boy into a boy. He will never be a man.
Drug dealers, hustlers in the street.
Yeah.
So you really were that statistic that we're talking about. Had God not been in your life, you really could have ended up a whole different way.
I found myself in federal prison facing the fact of the reality of that if I go back to society doing the same thing I was doing before I got locked up, next time they would catch me and I get a life without parole sentence. So at this point, I've made it to a place of devastation that is so destructive that I'm flat on my back. And for some of us, that's just what we have to get to. Because we've been surviving, we've been fighting, we've been doing everything on our own for so long. And it's been wrong, but we've made it right because we've never had no example before us. And we said at this point, this is just how we got to go. I got to make it to the top the best way I know how.
Right.
And my route to the top led me to 8 years in the federal penitentiary. I got to this point and I said this. Here comes the truth. I'm ignorant. I don't know who I am. I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know what life is about to bring about. I don't know why I am created. For some strange reason, something got deep on the inside of me to want to know why. Why I'm alive. I was hungry for a purpose. I was hungry for my reason for existence. And I think that the same way the Maslow's laws say that a person needs food, a person needs water, a person needs oxygen, a person needs clothes, I think in the human spirit, the first law to the human spirit is this: what am I created for?
Yeah.
If I don't know what I'm created for, I don't have a reason to be alive. Are you with me? So right off the top, my first thing was this: what am I created for? I need to know today. And God, check this out. I really don't even believe it's a God. Because the truth of the matter is, if it was really a God, why every time it started raining, my grandma and them we had to put pots in the middle of the floor to catch the rain.
Because your grandmother believed in God.
Because my grandma believed in God. I saw who God was through my grandma. Yeah. And I was saying to myself, I don't want this type of God, because every single time grandma told me, we can't eat hamburgers when Tay and Doe can eat hamburgers because we ain't got the money to eat hamburgers. hamburgers. I'm just trying to just being honest. And in my mind at 8 years old, I don't want that type of God. If I can't eat what I want to eat when it's time to eat, I want the God that's going to give me more than enough. I wouldn't put it in those type of terms, but in my mind, I'm seeing God through my grandmother.
She was your source.
She was my source because I didn't have a father. You see, that's the reason why it is dangerous. That's why in the penal system right now, 68% of men who are in prison right now grew up without a father. So they already know exactly what's about to happen. If 68% grew up without a father, that means 68% didn't have a source. So since you don't have a source, let me build some more prisons because you will be back.
Because prison will be my source.
And this was the plan for them to break up the black household, because they knew this. They knew if black families was together, God would come back and this whole world would be totally different. So they had to take away. Have you seen that though? But we already know this as a culture. They took away all of our black leaders, the ones that would have put us up in that mindset and in that position to be something greater than. But yeah, let's keep going.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. So now I'm sitting in this place and I'm like, God, if you show me, I don't even know where it come from. But my prayer was this: God, if you show me my purpose, you can have my life, right? I'm opening up the Bible. I can't even read the Bible. Don't understand the Bible. Don't believe it. But I say this, I'll make a deal with you. If you show me what I'm alive for, you can have my life. At that point, this is what I'm demonstrating. I'm demonstrating a hunger, right? I'm demonstrating a desire, and I'm demonstrating humility. Somebody need to write them points down right now. You got to demonstrate a hunger, humility. You got to demonstrate a desire, and you got to demonstrate a humility. The reason why we have so many men that's not coming on the inside is because they don't have a hunger, they don't have a desire, they don't have humility. In humility, I got to come under.
You got to come under, for real. But because when you ask God to be used by him, trust me, he will use you. Once you humble yourself and you understand that you are not perfect in any form of way, and you humble yourself to God, Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior, and you ask him to use you as his tool, the trials and tribulations that you will get in your life will be tenfold. The attacks that will come your way will be tenfold. And what I realized is that that means that you're doing the right thing in life. If the more attacks come, the more you're doing right in life. It's a sad thing, but yeah. So yeah, when you were saying that, that really hit me there, because once you actually give up and you actually just give in and you just give your all to him and just ask for him to guide you with his hands and use you as a tool to give his word out and to wake certain people up. You got to go to the calling and do his work. But yeah, let's continue.
I got to leave the top and I got to come under to be taught by somebody or something that is greater than I.
My God.
And my problem was this, because I was making the type of money I wanted to make whenever I wanted to make it. One week I made $100,000 profit in a week. That was the worst thing ever happened to me in my life.
Yeah.
Why? Because I thought I was God.
Yeah.
I'm serious. So when I think I'm God, now I think that the answer to life, my philosophy in life was, long as I got money, I ain't worried about no problems.
And you weren't about to submit to somebody that had less money than you.
Why would I submit to you when you broke? Yeah. Why would I submit to you when you ain't got more money than me? Because this is my idol. This is my God. My God is mammon.
Is your source.
It's my
Money's
source.
Your God.
So because all my life, all I've been looking for is money. Now I got my hands on it. Now the enemy is using it to control me.
Yeah.
Right? So I get into a place, then God had to bring me to a place where my money didn't even work. I had $50,000 on the books. All I could spend was $325 a month. So God brought me to, that was it. Yeah. That's all you can spend throughout the whole month. You may have more money on it, but you can't spend nothing but that. God know how to humble you.
My God.
Am I making any sense? Let me calm down.
Yeah.
Let me calm down.
So I want to go back to that part
God definitely
about
knows how to humble.
being, really learning how to be a man and how to be in that place.
I have to humble myself. I got to be hungry for truth, and I got to have a desire.
Yeah.
So in the desire, I've learned, and I begin to see that who I am is really not a real man. My definition for manhood has to change. Am I making sense? Yeah. Because if my definition don't change, then my manifestation and my demonstration in life won't change either. So I had to get to the point.
You won't be the man that you need to be.
What is a man for real?
Another question. Are all men natural born leaders that maybe just haven't been developed?
I think the human spirit is natural born. Is leadership that comes out of it.
Okay.
Right? That hadn't been developed. What do you mean? Any person that has a gift, a talent, and a purpose for their life, they are a leader. Mm-hmm. And God has a gift, a talent, and a purpose for every single person in their lives, right? But if it never get discovered, if I never get around the environment that produces how to discover and how to develop this leadership, this gift, this talent, this ability, or discover the purpose, then my leadership can never be born.
Yeah.
Am I making any sense?
No, that's good. So I guess my other question is, you got to get around it in order to be able to...
For it to be cultivated, pulled out of
for
you.
leadership, exactly. So
yeah, you got to have a desire for it to even want to get around it, though, right? Because most people, if you tell it like, man, for I know the thoughts I think towards you, thoughts of peace and not of evil to give you an expected end. Jeremiah, before I knew you, I formed you. Before I formed you out of your mother's womb, I knew you and I ordained you. And those two verses speak to every person on the face of this planet has a purpose, a gift, a talent, and ability for their lives. Why? Because God don't make junk. Mm-hmm. God don't make people to be idle. God creates people to pursue purpose and to build, to bless. Am I making any sense? So I got to know this. I'm created for something.
Yeah.
Amen,
And whatever I'm created for purpose, I got a gifting on the inside of me that I got to pull out. And once I pull it out and do what I do, I create my own niche in what I'm doing.
So yes, my Duns and Roses, that's it. Any fathers out there, sons that need to hear this, share this to them. Let them grow in faith. Give them something to live for. Yeah, even for the husbands out there as well. But anyway, my Duns and Roses, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you gave a like. If you're new here, subscribe, and let me know you lot's thoughts in the comments. I'll catch you guys on the next one.